Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Feel free to subscribe if you're interested in any of these things, and if not, that's fine. I'll see you later. Hi, I wanted to say hello to all of my old subscribers. How are you guys doing? I know it's been a couple of days, which is unlike me, but I've been depressed, and I don't know if I want to talk about it or not, so just bear with me. I'm kind of going through a depressive period, and so if I want to talk about it, I will, and if not, you know how it goes here. New subscribers, hello and welcome. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you being here. And if you missed me for a couple of days, I have hundreds. I'm just kidding, not hundreds. I have tens of hours, tens of hours of content. You guys could just go pick through and whatever. There's lots of chaos here for y'all too. Whatever. This is my dog Lilith. And then my dog Oliver is sitting over here itching his butt too. So they're gonna be itching their butts in the background. Ignore the butt itching. Or not. You could just leave. It's fine. Anyway, so yesterday I dyed my hair. That's why my fingers are a little orange, copper. It's a good color. It's a good color. It's a good color. I like getting my hair to her hair color, and keeping it there. But the red is so difficult to keep at the proper appropriate color. Every time I wash my hair, it's fleeting. Very, very fleeting. Very ephemeral, I suppose. Is that ephemeral? Fleeting? Like smoke, like whenever you blow a candle out, it goes, you know, that thing. That's what my hair color is. It's like that, or whatever. But I've been doing okay, but I have been in a depressive slump. And so there's a couple of things. You know, my mother died last October. My psycho neighbor is a psycho, and I hate going outside to see her. I have a lot of resentment built up towards her. If you know anything about my psycho neighbor, you know about her. And so I've been just feeding the birds by throwing food out and staying inside. I have an avoidant nature towards going outside when she's there, because I'd rather not start shit. That's my dog. I'd rather not start shit because I do have responsibilities. You know what I mean? I do have responsibilities, and so I cannot afford clocking someone between the eyes, even though they deserve it. I don't know. So anyways, I've been kind of depressed and avoidant of outside. And then also, I noticed that I was depressed because I was not cooking as much. Because I bought a lot of microwavable stuff. When I'm not depressed, I love cooking big meals and homemade stuff for my family and doing a lot of house tending, motherly things like that. You know, caring of the house, cleaning, organizing, having things in proper spaces and places and homes. And when I'm depressed, everything becomes cluttered and it's very, very chaotic and very, it just puts me more into a slump. And I've noticed that that's what was happening. So anyways, the past couple of days, I've been organizing everything, decluttering my house, cleaned out the barn completely. I may have a little bit of congestion because of the particles of the hay and the dust of the barn. But I did it all myself, and I'm very, very proud of myself. But I had to take a couple of days off to just clock in and out and realize where I was and where I was not mentally, you know what I mean? But I am very grateful for my subconscious mind, because she is such a dame, such a broad, such a doll. She's, I noticed that I bought tons of books, and I've purchased, we went to Body Worlds. I can't legally show you what was there, but it was quite amazing. It was a lot of really cool stuff. Not as big as the Houston Museum of Natural Science when I went to the exhibit there. There's much more. There was still a lot of very interesting pieces. They had smokers' lungs and hearts, and they like ovaries and things that were how do you say, not malnourished, that, I don't know, it was called the RX, diseased, there we go, diseased stuff. It was really cool, and I liked it. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, I had to clean a lot of my house and declutter it, and today I'm going to continuously do that. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, which is also a strange thing. My husband went from nights to days, so now I'm waking up at 2:30 in the morning and then going to sleep at like 7 o'clock at night, which is a shift in my other, how do you say, the cycles. So, and I like this because I feel more productive. for myself, not for profit. You know what I'm saying? Like, in America, we have this horrific, stressful worship of stress. We really do. Our stress is God. Um, and we treat it like God. We watch horror movies and fast food, and we fry our nervous systems, and then we go and supplement them with pharmaceuticals. It's very strange. It's pathetic. Anyways, it's pathetic. It really is. We as Americans are extremely pathetic. Um, and it's very sad and like overwhelming or something like that. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, it's very annoying and I hate it so much. Anyways, I have some. So here's what I've done. I was depressed. I'm cleaning, decluttering. I have to go do more decluttering. Um, I don't know if I want to donate my clothes or put them in like a trunk or something to hide them from myself in case I am in a type of mania or whatever they call that. You know, like whenever you're like whatever. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know if I'm in like a mania or something, but I think it's so unfair that there's only it doesn't matter. But I was depressed. And now that I'm out of the depression, I have some clothes that I like, but sorry. They're questionable. Now, my son has clothes that definitely do not fit him. And now I'm thinking to myself, in my crafty brain, should I make a quilt out of them? Like, my son's no longer fitting, he's 8. But the 6-year-old, 7-year-old clothes, should I make like a memorable like thing from them? Or just save them or donate them? I don't think I want to donate them. So that's what I'm wrestling with now. Do I donate? Do I sell them on Depop or Poshmark or whatever? Like, there's some stuff that I'm just like, oh God, I'll never wear that again. And then there's other things I'm like, there's a maybe. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm kind of like, whatever. But what I mean, like with the profit stuff, I feel like a lot of our productivity as Americans has to go towards being profitable. Like, productivity must equal cash flow. And that's wrong and inappropriate and disgusting. We're a very capitalist society, whatever. Um, the worship of stress and corporate entities, whatever. But it's just very annoying. I'm starting to get annoyed with not only the ideologies around me, but the people and the stress and the systems in place constantly. So you can't break out of the matrix. Once you get into the American matrix, it's hell. And there's many layers to this beast and many heads to the Hydra. And I hate it so much. But there's also a Texas hell. There's many levels to Texas hell. And I'm starting to like really get turned off by living in Texas. I always have been, but not to this extent, to where I'm noticing a lot of people from California flocking, and there's just conflict, and it's interesting to be a part of this. It's a part of Texas history now, the influx of Californians to Texas. And here's the issue. There's a lot of them. And my biggest issue is that there are two major, it's conflict. I hate conflict. Fucking hate it. Can you stop itching your butt? Please. I just hate conflict. I'm so avoidant of it. But at the same time, when someone says something enormously stupid, and it's not funny. Okay, that's the thing. When someone says something really fucking stupid and it's not funny, bitch, I'm right there to fucking knock somebody out. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm right there though to tell you something and like clock you and be like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, babe. No, but there's so much ignorance and stupidity, and it's uncontrollable. It is. There's just a lot of people eating propaganda from both sides, and now then it's the regurgitation and vomiting on each other of propaganda, like la la la. They ingest it from wherever it comes from, right? The gutter, the propaganda that comes out of the gutter. They eat it over here, they eat it over there, and then they start throwing it up on each other. And here I am in the middle, like, what the fuck is this? The Exorcist, babe? Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? And you cannot have logic. You can't have logic here. If you have logic and you're like, well, Well, first of all, logic is not profitable. Ignorance is profitable. So if you are smart, that's a problem because smart people figure out where the money's going and where the money's flowing and how it's flowing, and then who's pumping out the propaganda to make you distracted so you don't realize the lobbying that's happening over here. And it's very it's invasive, it's disgusting. There's a lot of shit going on that people don't understand. There's a lot of shit going on that I don't understand. I'm not saying that I do understand it, but what I am saying is that there's stuff going on in general. But when someone says something super stupid, and it's very loud, and then a lot of people regurgitate the stupidity, I'm like, number one, and number two. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so I had to kick my dogs out. They were scratching far too much for my ears to handle. Their skin's dry. Why does that dog sound? That dog sound too close. Why is he so loud? We're gonna have to just ignore the dogs in the backyard. Those are not my dogs. I just let my dog out of the door. Those are dogs from someone else's yard. Anyways, so I just I'm getting really annoyed and I'm really aggravated. And so I've noticed that like whenever sorry, I'm cracking all my bones. My bones are just cracking. Whenever I have an avoidance towards something I really hate, and I understand on some level I cannot control the American public, I can't control the Texas public, and I cannot control the public people in my town. I can only control myself. And that is, you could argue that you can't really control parts of yourself, especially whenever you're in the midst of all this hay throwing, you know. There's a big hay fight and everyone's throwing hay at each other, and there's a lot of ignorance and people insistent on, no, this is true. So anyways, I'm starting to fall into other things. Books, different time periods, things of that nature. So I got a wild hair and I purchased some antique Victorian clothing on eBay. eBay and the Etsy and other avenues. And I've been collecting Victorian clothing and mourning items. I think that the way the Victorians mourned was magnificent and extravagant. And something that I need to kind of take place in, because I feel like in our society, the Western world, you're not allowed to mourn. I don't even think you get like time off for mourning. Like there was a guy that died at my friend's job. I think she's a waitress. And they expected her, they didn't shut the place down. They were like, well, the show must go on. That's America. That's America. You could have 50 dead bodies right in front of you. And the American systems are like, somebody's going to have to work. Somebody, you know what I mean? Like half the company could die in a horrible thing. And then they're like, well, you still don't get time off. So, it's just disgusting. And it's not human and it's not humane as well. It's, how do you say? Fucked. It's like fucked or something like that. It really is. And so I'm in the, so anyways, I've been mourning. And then I started collecting mourning items, like not as in mourning as in good morning, but as in mourning, like sad, sorrow, depression, death. I've been collecting. I want to start collecting. They have like these tears, these vials that people would cry and they'd collect your tears. And when you're done crying, they'd say, "Look, here's how many times you cried. There's so much water came out of your body." So, anyways, it's a physical token of mourning, and it's very good for me to physically look back and say, oh wow, look at that, whatever. Now, am I saying everything was perfect back then? No. But I'm saying right now I have a fascination with antique Victorian mourning items in general. And so I purchased a bunch of like capes and coats from the Victorian era. And I'm going to be in my own time, as an introverted, the how do you say, hobby, the thing, to keep the busy, during the long months, sorry, when words fleet from me, I get aggravated. Like I try to grasp them real quick, and I'm like, like a child. No, come back here. When words leave my brain, they're just like, that dog is mad. What if there's a raccoon in someone's yard? Anyways, so yeah, I stutter a lot because I'm like, what is that word? What is that word? Oh my god! Today I forgot the word for island, which is something in a kitchen that is in the middle of a kitchen. Like there's another word I forgot. There's countertops, and then there's an island. It's in the middle of the countertops. Like here's the countertops, whatever, and then there would be an island, which is another independent countertop. So I forgot that word, and I was telling my husband, I was like, hey, I would really like one of those things. I was like, they're like ottomans for the kitchen. And he was like, an island? I was like, yes, an island. I was like, yes, that word. That's what I would like for the kitchen. And he's a very, we are very hands-on, so it wouldn't be something we purchase, probably something we build out of, I don't know, found wood or something like that or whatever. But I would like an island. I'm in my introverted inner winter and outer winter, going to bed earlier, cleaning and decluttering the house, making my home a sanctuary for rest, and coming back to myself and realizing that I cannot control the world outside of myself. The world outside of myself sucks really bad. Everybody's fucking crazy. And is it even their fault? I don't think so. There's how could you escape a matrix such as the one in America? It's very difficult. It's very, very hard to do. The food's fucked, the viewing, the things you view online are fucked. The media is fucked. The airwaves are fucked. Your water's fucked. The land is poisoned. Water's poisoned, land poisoned. Your house is also dangerous to an extent. You cannot even afford to basically live in a home. Your job sucks. There's stress. Like I said, media consumption, audio consumption. Everyone around you it's a symphony of birds that are all repeating the same horseshit and propaganda over and over and over again. How could you ever see your way out if your reality is so built upon lies and the miscommunication and the misuse of communication? It's difficult. And you can't even tell people. You can't even be like, hey, like I told my friend, I was like, like half of the people on Twitter are bots, right? So there's a very large, or Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. There's a very large chance you're interacting with a bot. And also online, there's bots in my comments, and there's bots that subscribe, and there's bots on Facebook, and you could sometimes clock them, but sometimes you can't. And so you can't even tell people that because they just don't believe it. They're like, oh, how, whatever, and so you become a crazy conspiracy theorist. Like, oh, you think there's bots everywhere. That kind of is. It kind of is. Bots and boomers is very strange. But it's just the reality of what's going on right now, and all I can do is tend my garden, fix my house up, and start retreating from the chaos. And it's so difficult to even get a hold of accurate information anymore. I've been really looking towards older books from the 60s and 70s, and there's even books that I've been interested in from the 1500s. Like old books. I've just been collecting books and reading books and collecting older things, older items, and the Victorian clothes that I have coming in, they need to be fixed up. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be fixing up these clothes and analyzing them and identifying certain parts of them and whatnot, and just studying. It's a study for me, dissecting and studying the clothes. And I've been really, really obsessed with older things lately. Buildings. We went to Galveston, and a lot of the buildings are from the 1800s, and they survived the 1900 storm. And then there is a Hurricane Ike that was in 2008, and there's water lines on the building at least 8 feet to 9 feet to 10 feet in the air. On the buildings, there are plaques that show you how high the water was. There was definitely sharks in Galveston going through downtown. Like, that's insane. When you think about it like that. I went to this coffee shop called like Mod Coffee, and I've been like really obsessed. Okay. I've been obsessed with London Fog, which is a type of drink, like a London Fog latte or something, or I don't know. I've been making it at home. I have at least 6 of them a day, and it's not good. But if there's Earl Grey tea around me, bitch, I'm drinking that fucker. It's not safe. You see me? I'm gonna have that thing on me. What is that thing? It is a canister of Earl Grey tea, some vanilla, and some fucking cream. I am obsessed with London Fog tea. But anyways, I had my first one ever 2 days ago when we were in Galveston. Was it 2 days ago? Yes. 2 days ago in Galveston at the Mod Coffee House. And they had like a lot of art. And there's tons of art all over Galveston, which was so delicious. And my soul needed it. It was like drinking just the finest wine, the most beautiful flavors. It was just so nice to visually see art. And the architecture is divine as well. Oh man, it's so nice. We just don't make stuff like we used to. We really don't. All this stuff that we have now, it's not going to last. It's not. And so, looking at the Ike Waterline and seeing that these buildings were erected in like the 1880s and earlier, and how long they lasted, and what they've gone through, what they have fucking gone through. I really need to go to New York. I really need to go to the East Coast and look at things. I just want to look at things. I just want to go and look at all the buildings. I don't give a fuck about anything else. I don't really give a fuck about fashion nowadays. It's all, to me, it's all bullshit, horse crap. I've been really interested in leather things, leather shoes, real, just genuine stuff, genuine handcrafted items. Not so much machine made things anymore. I do have stuff that is machine made and whatnot, but just I have like this very I'm craving. It's a craving. It is a insatiable desire to analyze and study the Victorian era and the past as well. And so I have been, and it's extremely interesting. Um, and it's just the shit nowadays. It's all shit. It's all shit. Everything is absolute shit. But I do get some. I have boots that are leather and they're handmade from Mexico, and man, there are some sturdy fucking shoes. And of course, leather is animal parts, and so of course, a lot of people don't like that, and that's okay. But I don't think there's anything wrong with buying vintage leather and just keeping it up. If you take care of your stuff, it'll last for fucking ever. You know, it'll last many, many, many years. I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's not like you're supporting somebody else making it if you buy it secondhand. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know. I have a very strange ideology, whatever. But yeah. So we went to the Mod Coffee Shop, and behind the barista, this is what happened. Behind the barista, there's a pillar from the 1800s, right? Because it's a very, very old place. It's a new place within an old place, which is bizarre. It's so weird. And so behind him was like a pillar from the 1800s, and on it, written in Sharpie, Ike Waterline. And it was like, what? And it was like a barn, but it was very, very, very high up. And I was like, and I looked around, and I was like, hey, can I order a London Fog? I've never had one. I'd like to try one. And so he was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And I said, hey, what is that? And he was like, oh, that's the waterline from Ike, the hurricane. And I was like, that's how high it was in here? And he was like, yeah. He's like, there's a plaque over there too. And it was just so high. Inside of the building was completely underwater. Wow. And it's still there to this day. That's fascinating. Like, what? You know, like, I just don't, that is so amazing to me. So I sat there with my London Fog and I drank, and it was the most delicious drink I've ever had in my entire life. And I am, it's so good that I think I've given given up basically drinking coffee for Earl Grey tea, which is kind of crazy for me. If you know me, I'm a coffee addict. I drink like 4 cups of coffee a day. But now I've switched it for 5 cups of Earl Grey. Anyways. So the Ike Waterline. That freaked me out. And I could not, there was something in my brain that was like, sorry. I cleaned out my barn and my throat's kind of mucusy from the dust particles. Even though I covered my face with like a very tight cotton rag, multiple layers of it, very tight, it's still those particles, man. Anyways, sorry. So, is there something seeing that waterline and then seeing the plaques from the 1900s, from the year 1900, and then seeing the cornerstones like erected 1880 something, 1880 or whatever. It was clicking in my head. It was just things were clicking at things that I really can't put into words right now. And so just my whole life right now has been I've been obsessed with the Victorian era and sewing and getting back into like handmade items and taking time to just, I don't know, like taking time and dedicating time to certain things in my life that I think are important and enjoying them. Does that make sense? Because before it was like go, 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 go. Like I've noticed that the Americanized religion is stress, the god is stress. And so stress, on all levels, self-regulating stress. We're so stressed out, our nervous system's so fried. And then we become addicted to pharmaceuticals because we have to cope with the stress. The American public has to cope with all the stress that we're stressed out by. There's nothing wrong with loving horror and things like that, but I'm starting to notice everything goes hand in hand with each other. And they all make like a Red Rover, come on over line of the stress, the horror, the fast food. It's all tied together. It's all very stressful. Like I said, the air is poisoned, the water's poisoned, the land is poisoned. And then we constantly sell parts of America to foreign countries in order for them to like grow crops here to export them to their country and stuff like that. It's very strange. It's a peculiar thing. It's weird. Everything's weird. Everything's kind of fucking weird. But yeah, and then they're like, oh yeah, there's aliens in the water. Honey, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I really could not fucking care less. You could tell me that there's an alien under my bed, and I don't give a fuck. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody fucking cares. Like, you guys wasted some bomb-ass fucking people because aliens and you're reverse engineering their technology. Who gives a fuck? Why? Oh, let me guess. So you could do experiments on the American public. Bitch, ain't that what you're doing anyways? Do you really need alien technology to do experiments on the American public? No, shut the fuck up. Like, get out of my face. Like, ew. They're like, oh, they knew too much. What do you mean? You mean they knew too much of nothing? Nothing. Like, even if you do have a reverse engineered alien technology, that is a fraction of the entire fucking universe of existence. Who gives a fuck? Oh, like, what did Marilyn Monroe know? What did JFK really know? Like, who gives a fuck, dude? Get off of, get on my face. This is so pathetic. It's so annoying. Who gives a fuck? Anyways, it is tough. It's hard out here for a pimp. So annoying. I'm so annoyed. Yeah, it's just really annoying. People are just so aggravating. And like all of the systems that are in what do you call it? All of the systems in power, all of the corporate entities that have been lobbying politicians, everything in power is so annoying. It really is. It's uncontrollably nefarious and annoying. And I can't handle it. So I'm retreating into myself, into my hobbies, into cleaning my house and organizing my life because, like, fuck everything else. Like, really, fuck everything else. It's it's too much. It's too much pain and misery and chaos and horseshit and lies and propaganda. It's too much, too fast all the time. And it doesn't stop. The best thing you could do is remove your head from underneath the faucet of constant streaming shit. Do you understand? It's like a sewage line that's busted. And every American has their head completely like in the fucking way of the sewage line that's busted. Just remove your body from the entire fucking equation, babe. Like, just walk away, clean your fucking head off, get all the shit out of your ears, literally, and like, just do something different. And it's so difficult. I don't blame people for being wrapped up in it. I don't blame people for getting mad. I don't blame people for screaming and regurgitating propaganda. I don't blame you at all, because shit, bitch, I've been there. And also, like, we're all a part of the problem, because we're not allowed to think any other way. We're really not. Try to think outside of the box whenever they have a box and a box and a box. It's like a Russian dolls of boxes. They have curated to place over everybody's reality. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm sorry, I'm just annoyed. But anyways, so I have some shit coming in today and a couple of weeks. And I'm really excited. I'm very grateful to be alive. I'm just retreating into myself. And also I have to make a couple like doctor's appointments, because I need to also check on my body and see how I'm doing, which is something I haven't done in many, many, many years, because it's not free. It's definitely it's not accessible. Yesterday I called a doctor and I got hung up on twice and they put me on hold for 30 minutes. How the fuck is that accessible? Like, I just don't. It's so difficult. Like, I don't want to go, and I only have so much energy, and when I spend all of it on the phone, it's you get tied up. You're wasting your life. I wasted 30 minutes of my time waiting for something that never happened. I didn't even get to make a fucking appointment. Anyways, I need to go get like the ladies, they understand. They're just lady checkups, and also because it's something that you're supposed to do every year. But is that financially possible for every American woman to go get a checkup once a year? No, a lot of the women I talk to haven't even got a checkup in over 10 years. So, that being said, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, oh my god, what the fuck? Like, it's horrible. It sucks. And yet, something important that we should all be doing, and yet it's something that is extremely difficult to access. You know what I'm saying? It's so difficult to access. And my favorite thing is when people are like, well, there's government, how do you say? There's government programs. Well, not really, because you either have to make enough or not much. Like, you have to jump through hurdles with government programs, which I have done before. And so, or our government programs, they have to jump through hurdles, wait in line, waste precious days of your fucking life trying to jump through these dumbass hurdles to get a dumbass appointment to a dumbass government funded facility, which usually has dumbass interns who dumbassedly will mix up your fucking test results. A lot of my friends and family members who have gone to these dumbass government facilities where they give you dumbass stupid fucking exams. Trigger warning, female reproductive issues. Just a whole trigger warning for that. So if you're, whatever. One of my friends is pregnant and they had some dumbass intern, and I get it, they have to learn, but they gave her, I'm so sorry, they did it, she was pregnant, and they gave her a checkup and ended up forcing her to go into labor, and then they put her baby, her little fetus in a jar and gave it to her and shook it up before they gave it to her and said, look at it, oh my god, here's what came out of you. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is that not enough to make you want to go on a rampage? And that's not a unique experience. Let me back this up. That's not a unique experience. It happens to a lot of people. That happened to one of my relatives. They went in for a checkup at one of these dumbass government facilities for feminine checkups. Lady checkups, women's health, and they told her she had a disease, like an STD, but she didn't, and so they gave her a pill to cure it, which ended up she was pregnant. It ended up killing the child, her baby, the fetus, whatever. What the fuck ever you want to call it. She was not pregnant anymore. Forced her to go into labor, and then she lost her baby. And then another one of my friends, they told her that she had HIV, and she did not. And so for a long time, for I think a month or so, she said, or something like that, for an extended amount of time, she was like, "Oh my god, I have HIV," and then they called her like days later, and they were like, "I'm so sorry, we mixed up your test results. You don't." And so you know what I'm saying, like, and that's not a unique experience. Like I said, those are just my friends and family who have felt the need to share their experiences. You know what I mean? So I've been there. And also I've been to those facilities, and they're like, "Can we bring 20 people in to come look at your vagina while we have your legs spread?" It's for a class. They need to learn. It is all crazy experiments they do on women at these women health clinics. They're just trial and error. And if your baby dies or if you lose your reproductive abilities, oh man, sorry. They don't give a fuck because you're poor. You're seeking the government's help for something, and they give you a free checkup once a year. But the free checkup, it's goddamn, it is a gamble. You roll the dice, and what you get is what you get. Who knows? I mean, sometimes, is it sterile? Did they even clean off the equipment correctly? Can we be certain? I don't know. Because if they're mixing up blood and piss samples and just rolling the dice with all these women, I don't know. So it's just very, very annoying. It's very hard having a uterus and then also trying to seek help because there's a lot of fucking idiots. There's a lot of idiots in the medical field. And it's like, oh my god. And of course, like I said, they're in training. They're in training. They are training to be assistants. But some motherfuckers need to stay the fuck out of the medical field. Some of these bitches need to sit the fuck down and get the fuck out. Maybe go reassess your life. Go on and get, like, some bitches become nurses just because it's a good job and they gotta pay for their 15 children. That's fine. That's okay. But when you hate your job and then you become resentful because you have 15 kids and then you start doing heinous things at work, like, because nobody's going to catch you, who would think about, we hear tons of the killer nurses, you know what I mean? Tons of nurses that were just psychotic bitches who did nefarious things. So, I don't know, it's crazy. My mom, when I was younger, she always told me stories about this one nurse that just hated people, so she was swapping babies. Yeah. And so when I was born, she like marked my foot to make sure she got the right baby back. And when my kids were born, she like looked at them and she counted all their toes and fingers before they took them away and they bring them back. They take them to, like, I don't know, some weird baby thing. This some fucking weird baby thing. Yeah, it's weird. Everything's weird. I don't know. But yeah, the whole world's chaotic right now. And I'm so sorry. I've been like really like yapping today about my aggravations. I've been really aggravated today. Let me start counting all the good things. I have some clothes coming in. I'm fixing up my house, which I'm very grateful for. I dyed my hair last night and it is a beautiful color. I'm very grateful for it because sometimes I'll dye my hair and it'll become copper and red. That's a gamble too. What color are you gonna get? Even if you follow the formula, sometimes it's just, I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? But last night I did not follow the formula. I made up my own little formula and it's not ugly. It's not ugly. So whatever. It was a good gamble, but I cleaned out the barn, which was by myself, which was a huge thing that I have been putting off for many months, and now it's clean, and I'm very happy and grateful. I am cleaning up my backyard. There's like some, there's just sometimes the wind will blow trash into it, stuff like that. It's been collecting in corners, especially since Hurricane Beryl. I need to get some chompers and chomp down some of the foliage, and then just assess where I want my garden to be next year. The biggest issue I'm having is contemplating where to put my garden, because the neighbor, she loves killing stuff on my side of the fence. So, and then being like, or whatever. She's crazy. I hate her. Anyways, so I have to figure out where I want my garden to be, because if it's near the fence line too much, where she could spray her poison onto my side, she's putting poison on my food, and I cannot have that. Because I will literally wrap my hand around her hair and knock her out. Yeah, poison my hair, like, yeah, she's just so crazy. I just hate, like, I deal with crazy people all the time. I have tons of crazy people in my family that are medicated. They go to therapy and psychiatrists, and I'm a little crazy myself. But do you understand there's levels of crazy? There's levels of it, and I deal with a lot of mentally unstable people all the time, and I'm a little bit mentally unstable myself, and so I have an empathy and understanding for mental instability. Though where I get angry is when somebody masquerades as normal, and then they're fucking psychotic, and then they take a lot of things that they probably shouldn't take. It's almost like she's doing meth and comes over and she starts shaking and telling me all kinds of profusely like ignorant and racist slurs and remarks, and it's dangerous, because if I am around her too often, I just like I said, I have responsibilities. I can't just go and be like Batman vigilante and knock out every racist person, but I want to. I think that would be really fun. But it's difficult. It's an ignorance that comes from within, and it's their life. If it's very difficult to deal with. And I hate it. I hate it. Anyways, I just hate dealing with my neighbor. I have a very avoidant personality when it comes to being around her, because I just cannot handle catching a charge, catching a case. But anyways, so like I said before, I deal with a lot of mentally unstable or mentally ill, or just, people who have mental health issues, and it's very common in my family as well as around me, and in America. It's very common in America. Legitimately, it's very common. Everybody does to some extent. We're all traumatized, stressed out, and it's the biggest issue is when people masquerade as normal or claim they don't, or it's not that they claim that they don't, but they clearly have something going on with them, and you could sense there's a danger, and so they're like, "Oh, I don't have any mental health issues," and then they're always on uppers and downers, and you're like, "Babe, honey, sweetie pie, I'm not trying to like clock you or anything, but like, babe, I have a psychiatrist, like, and he's pretty cool. So like, if you need his number, let me know, okay?" Yeah. So whatever. My favorite thing is whenever bitches will come up to me. Yeah, bitches will come up to me, and I'll be like, "Yeah, I've been to my psychiatrist. I have a therapist. I'm very, very grateful to be alive. I've overcome many things, and I'm extraordinarily grateful for my life and how it's progressed." And my favorite thing is when bitches come up to me, "Oh, wow. Wow, you need a psychiatrist? Oh, wow. Oh, wow." Like, no shit, honey. I think everybody in America does, to an extent, for something at least once in their life. Um, are you kidding me? Are you fucking joking? Uh, it's my favorite thing when people like make me feel like I'm crazy because I have a psychiatrist, and then they go off and they like, I don't know, like fuck 82,000 people in a 2-day span, and they're like, "I'm normal." But girl, what the fuck? But yeah, anyways. I think I'm gonna go. I have to go clean and do some things and whatnot. I hope you guys are doing well as you can be doing within these strange And like it's gonna get worse and it's gonna get better. Things always do. I don't know if you guys have taken a history class, but historically things get worse and things get better. Things generally are things. So yeah, it is going to be and it will not be and it always has been and it never will. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, take it easy, take care of yourself. Be careful, check on your people this holiday season. I know that some people get really depressed during winter. I do not. I become excited because it's cold outside. I get to wear all of my clothes all at once. Today I have a wool sweater that's very long and very, like, long sleeve and long. And it's like all wool. And I'm just so happy. I can't wait to start crocheting. I need to go online and look at, I crochet. So I need to go online and look for some mostly wool brands. I'd like to have a wool hat. I want to make a nice cute little wool hat. I don't know what color yet. I haven't figured out the color. I'm into browns right now, darker browns, like chocolatey colors. And sorry, my bed's all messed up. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, so yeah, take it easy. I'll see you guys later. Okay, goodbye.